Let's talk about low quality and deceptive landing pages. And specifically, we're talking in the context of Google Ads, and if Google might flag you for having issues with your landing pages, or sometimes they don't actually flag you, but there could be issues, and that could be part of a bigger ad account suspension or ad disapproval. So let's talk about some of the most common things that you might do or not do on your landing pages to trigger this issue. So first of all, lacking original content. Some industries are really prone to this type of issue. For example, affiliates, where their goal is simply to send traffic to another place. And what Google wants to see is when someone clicks on your ad, they should have original content that they're seeing on your website. It shouldn't just be a rehash of something that somebody else wrote, or obviously copied text from another website. So for example, let's just say you are an affiliate. If you are going to be running Google Ads as an affiliate, you would want to actually provide like a helpful, accurate, data-based review or information about the product that you're promoting on your landing page and say, hey, here's the pros and the cons, here's how it compares to other products, things like that. And actual, again, original content that doesn't already exist on the web so that you are providing something of value to the person who is clicking to that landing page. And that applies obviously far beyond just affiliates, applies to all verticals. You want to have original content. You will need to have enough content as well. If it's just a form and no other information or content on your landing page, that could be an issue to Google. They could think, yeah, there's just not enough going on here and flag it for that reason. Other issues would be, so for example, if it's completely images, if your landing page is completely images, maybe you have text as part of those images, so people can read. It looks like a normal landing page to a human, but the bot, when it gets there, the bot can't tell that there's text in images, and so it might say, hey, there's no text on this page. This is a low quality page, and that could be an issue. There are lots of other things to look for. For example, you should have things like your privacy policy linked in the bottom of the page, in your footer, so that people can access that information. Generally speaking, it's a good idea to link the logo, have a logo in the top left-hand corner, and link that to your home page, so that even if you don't have other navigation options at the top of your landing page, because maybe you're trying to not give too many options to people that might take them away from your landing page, you still give them the option to go check out more information about your website, and that can be helpful and a good signal to Google. And when people get to your homepage, you should have an actual working homepage. Some people will have no homepage on their website. They might have just some landing pages. For example, using tools like ClickFunnels, this will often occur. But Google expects to see a quote-unquote normal homepage when they try to just go to your domain to where a homepage should be. So make sure that you have that. Other issues that could exist on landing pages would be things like, pop-ups that prevent people from properly navigating the page, or really glaring, graphics and massive countdown timers and things that just make it a bad experience, so that someone goes to your page and they're like, ugh, what's going on? This is aggressive. That could be an issue to Google as well. And then obviously also if you have, fake information on your page, let's say you're copying reviews from somewhere else on the web and attributing those as if they're your customers, that's going to be a problem. A, it's not original content. B, it's not accurate content. It's not valuable to people, etc. So really the way that I would recommend is when you look at your landing pages, just approach them with common sense and say, how can I make sure this is original, this is helpful and useful to people coming here, it has sufficient information so they know what they need to know about what I want them to do, whether that be purchasing a product, reaching out for information about a service, signing up for an email newsletter, whatever that action is, have enough information for them to understand what they are getting into, and then have appropriate links to things like your privacy policy, potentially your homepage, so that people have information about how you are viewing their visit to your website from a privacy perspective, and so they can get information about who you are as a business. And if you do those things, while there's nothing guaranteed in Google world, you are certainly much less likely to have issues with Google flagging you for landing page problems. And if you want more information about how to comply with Google's policies, how to fix suspensions, how to be successful with digital marketing, please check out our website, StubGroup.com, and we'd love to help.